So AI, or artificial intelligence, is becoming more apparent in all fields, but in this video I'm going to talk about how you can use it in the world of fragrances to your advantage and which ones that I recommend. Yes people, what is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name's TJ, and over here on my channel I discuss all things fragrances and the fragrance industry. So if there's any content you would like for me to create, let me know down in the comments. By the way, if you haven't seen the latest video that I dropped to my channel just before this one, make sure to check it out. But after this one, of course, it was me ranking the popular niche fragrance house Maison and Crivelli, which loads of people are loving right now, so don't miss it. So to start out, I'm a massive advocate when it comes to artificial intelligence in general, and obviously one of my biggest passions is fragrance. So I'm always looking for kind of tools or things that I can use to kind of enhance my fragrance experience. And if you guys don't already follow me, make sure you go over and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at TJ Talk Sense. And a few months ago, I think earlier this year, I was interviewed by the popular media outlet called Business Insider, if you guys have heard of them, on a story about AI in the perfume world, and do I think it's going to help or hinder the industry in the future. It was a sick thing to be a part of. I'll leave the link down to the article below. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to AI in the perfume industry, I personally think it should be there for two things, and both of them should help. So I think the first thing should help you develop an understanding of what it is you like and why, and the second one should help you find and discover new things that you might find interesting. So let's start this off with some apps or websites that you can use to your advantage. And the first one is Sniff, and I believe at the moment it's just an app on iPhone and Android, but a website is definitely coming soon because I checked the other day. And this one was created by Demi Rollin, which is a popular fragrance influencer, if you didn't already know, and her partner Pierre. And in reality, this is a social media platform where you can actually build a community on there. You can actually find friends on there and discuss things with other like-minded fragrance lovers as well, which is super cool. But the main thing is you can search the fragrances that you like. You can delve a little bit deeper and dive into the notes that you like. You can also even see the perfumer behind those scents and discover that perfumer's portfolio, because I know it's a bigger thing now where I don't think it was so much before, where you could find a perfumer that you like and enjoy their kind of perfumery style and then dive into loads of different fragrances that they've created over the years, which loads of people seem to be doing. Like loads of people have their actual favorite perfumers like Quinton Bish, Jordi Fernandez, which is mad, but I don't think it was like that before. And on top of that, two things that I really like with Sniff is that when you put in the fragrances that you like, it's going to give you recommendations based on what it thinks you will like. So if you're like me and you put in that your favorite perfume is Angel Share, like right above me, it might give you recommendations like Ojan by Parfums de Marly. And if you put in something like a vanilla fragrance like Bianco Latte, it might give you other fragrance recommendations to try out like Vanilla Diorama or Escapade Gourmand, which is actually cool. And nowadays, loads of people love layering fragrances, which is really interesting. And on here, when you put in a fragrance, you can swipe right a couple of times and it will give you different fragrance layering combinations, which I think is sick. And lastly, on the app, there's articles that get uploaded on there about different perfumes or different notes in fragrances, which is interesting. There's a review section, so if you like a fragrance, you can literally type in what you think of it so other people can kind of see your opinion. But yeah, man, I think it's good. So if any of you guys use Sniff and you enjoy it, let me know what your favorite features are. If you don't already, make sure you go over and download it on your phone and follow your boy first and foremost. Now, I'm not sure if this next one has an app, but I use it as a website specifically. And this one is called Wiki Parfum. And out there, I know 99% of people use Fragrantica to find out new drops and notes in fragrances and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, Wiki Parfum is miles above that. Now, similar to Sniff, Wiki Parfum also drop articles on their website. They also update it regularly with new fragrance drops, which is cool to keep you guys in the loop. But I feel like this one's a little bit more professional and structured. And in my opinion, Wiki Parfum is heavily focused on kind of teaching you and allowing you guys to learn a lot about everything to do with perfume. So there's a section on there when it comes to like fragrance notes or scent profiles, and you can learn what a chypre is, what a fougere fragrance is, why do we need citruses in our fragrances, what does a woody fragrance mean, and stuff like that, which I think for people getting into perfume, this is the stuff you want to know. But honestly, in my opinion, the best thing about Wiki Parfum is the ingredients tab. So when you go onto the homepage, just click on ingredients, and then under there will be a little search bar. You can enter any notes or records that you like in fragrances, and it will bring up loads of different fragrances for you to discover. So for example, if you like sandalwood, you like musk, you like amber, you put in those 3 notes or even more than that, like chocolate and vanilla, and it will bring up all of the fragrances that have those exact scent profiles or accords in the fragrance, so you can literally go out and try them the next time you go out, write them down in your notes, so you can even order samples online if they're available. But I think that's sick. And this is a tool I haven't really seen anywhere else, and the only negative with this is you obviously have to be able to know your taste or what you like in fragrances. It's not really going to be for novices in the game, I would say. But what I would kind of recommend you guys do, so if you're just getting into perfumes, when you go out and you're testing loads of different fragrances, just write down which ones you liked and what it is about them that you like. So is it the smokiness behind the scent? Is it the sweetness? Is it the fruitiness at the top? So then you can literally go on Wiki Parfum, see what is in that fragrance, then use those notes to kind of discover more so you can go out and literally broaden your horizons. Now the next one, if you do follow me on my socials already, you probably have seen a piece of content I dropped that went pretty viral earlier this year. I think I dropped it around January, and it was a collaboration between the fragrance shop and a Dutch AI perfume company called Every Human. So this is the funky piece of tech that you might have seen in the fragrance shop's flagship store on Oxford Street, where they've got loads of bottles upside down, the machine that does everything itself. Essentially, it's a robot. So what happens is you go onto the website and you answer a load of questions, around 20 plus in total, but it starts out with questions like, how are you as a person? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? What was your upbringing like? What city did you grow up in, and stuff like that? And then once you finish those kind of personal questions, it then starts to ask you perfume related questions. So how much fragrances do you own? What do you like in a fragrance? Do you prefer summer fragrances or winter fragrances? And do you want oud in this scent and rose and stuff like that? Which I think the first few questions that they ask in this kind of questionnaire are not really valid, because I think they really base the scent off of what you answer in these questions, which is kind of a cheat at the same time. Now, once you're done with all of that, you go over to the machine, you enter the code, and you literally see the bottle start filling up with loads of different notes and accords that they've got there. And I forgot to mention that it's literally custom made bespoke fragrances. So what I have based on my questions, you'll get something totally different. It might be different amounts or a whole different scent. And what it is you have to pay for this service, and you get, it's £45, I believe, and you get free 5 ml fragrances. So essentially you're paying £45 for 15 ml. And by the way, this isn't only something you can do in store. You can literally go onto the Every Human AI website and do this online, and you can literally pay and get the fragrances sent to your house. Now, I did have the opportunity to speak to the owners behind the Every Human AI technology brand, and what they told me is when they create you the free custom bespoke fragrances, 2 of them they base off of the questions that you've answered. So in theory, you're meant to like and enjoy 2 of the fragrances, and in one of them they literally throw a crazy curveball at you with notes and accords in a fragrance that you might not have normally tried before. And I gotta say, when I got my collection of 3, 2 of them were nice. I did say, and I do feel like they were a little bit basic, but they were nice and they smelled pleasant. And the one that was a curveball was absolutely disgusting. And that's not even me exaggerating. This was probably one of the worst smells I've ever smelled. But to round it up, you can see the notes in the fragrances before they get dispensed, so you can tweak and change them. And then you also have the formula. So if you really like one, you can order a bigger bottle of 15 ml up to 50, I believe. And do I think it's the best technology in the world? No. Do I think it's something cool and funky that you should try if you're into perfume? Definitely. Now, last but not least, we do have another physical store, but this one isn't going to be as accessible as the fragrance shop. But it's an experience that I've done a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I have to tell you guys about it. Now, this is a store in Paris called Nose, and essentially they're just a luxury niche fragrance store that have a great selection, nice variety of scents in there. So if you're ever going there, make sure to check them out. But before I was going, I was actually scrolling on Instagram and I saw an ad come up, and it said that they offer this thing called an olfactive diagnosis. And that caught my attention. So when I went there, I had to check it out. So the crux of it, you go in there, you sit down, you create an account, and you can do one of 2 things. So you can enter your top 5 to 10 favorite fragrances of all time, or you can enter your last 5 fragrances that you've worn. And then this technology, this piece of AI is going to help you discover fragrances that you love. And then depending on what fragrances you put in, it kind of creates a scent profile based off of you. So it was telling me, I like a gourmand scent, I like a boozy fragrance, I like vanilla, and I like it sweeter, which is all true. So then what happens is they bring out 5 fragrances that they think you will like, and they spray these each on a test strip, but they put it face down. So you're literally blind smelling and blind ranking them. So you can't see the name, you can't see the brand, so there's no bias or discrimination. And then you have to rank them on this board from -5 being you absolutely hate this, you cannot stand it, all the way up till 5, and then you essentially do this in rounds. So after the first batch, they kind of see what scores you put and they enter that into the iPad, which then creates and develops a stronger understanding of what it is you like. So say you said no to all of the vanilla-based fragrances, your score will go down on that, and they'll probably bring you more fresh scents, but it's super cool. And then after the second round, they bring your top 4 favorite fragrances from these rounds, and then they spray 1 on each hand and then 1 on each arm, and then you go outside, you get some fresh air, and you smell them again without knowing what they are, because obviously all of these fragrances smell differently on skin, and then you come back in and you can find out what's your favorite. So when I done it, I found out that my favorite fragrance was from Nasa Mato, and it was Baronda, which you guys know I love a boozy scent, and that one is boozy and it's woody, so a no-brainer there. But I did find another sick fragrance that I really enjoyed. It was from a brand called Bibi, and it was called The Other Room. So then what I could have done is I could have bought a full bottle, which I did do, of Baronda, or you could just purchase samples of the fragrances. But if you don't want to do that, I think the whole service costs €12. And to be honest, I thought it was a really good experience, and I'm going back to Paris in a couple of weeks with the boys, other fragrance content creators, so you know I'm going to take them there. But yeah, if you're interested in AI in the perfume world, let me know down in the comments. And If you've done any of the things I've mentioned, let me know what your kind of experience was with it. And if there's anything that I haven't mentioned that is cool and you think I'll enjoy, make sure to let me know. And this was a little bit of a longer one, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you got this far and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And like I said, if you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, it's at TJ Talk Sense. But I won't waste any more of your time. Thank you guys for watching. As always, love for the love, my people.